Americans, we are the trendsetters.
Okay.
We set the trends for the culture around the world.
Facts.
So we'll take an African dance and we'll put our own spin to it, and then it'll become something else.
Okay.
So I would say that definitely you guys got more movements in your body, more looser and all that other kind of stuff. But Americans got the trendsetters. We got the trendsetter award.
Okay. All right, good. Do you think some African immigrants distance themselves from Black Americans to succeed in America? Yes or no?
I would say no.
No?
I would say no. I got a boy named TJ from Africa, and we click.
You guys click.
You know, when we deal with the term African American, that term was created for people that lived in America. If you was born on the shores here of America, in America, it was referred to us. It wasn't referred to people that came in from the Caribbean or those that came from Africa or came up from Canada. It was for the people that was on the soil in Alabama, Mississippi, Philadelphia, New York City, AC to KC, Nebraska, you know, not Alaska, right? But it was for those that was here on this soil. But there's been confusion as time went on over the years where you've had other groups coming in from other places, our cousins that look like us, right? But they're not from the soil, and they started to mix in and get things that was on the books that was supposed to be for us, started to go to all these other groups. You know, when you had affirmative action and the DEI programs, if you from Trinidad or Cuba, Dominican Republic, Africa, these different places, you get mixed in with us and you could be considered an African American. Now, our ancestors fought to get executive orders and things on the books that was supposed to be specifically for the African American or Negro people, and now it's caused a bunch of confusion. You have a lot of groups come here now and they benefit from the things that we fought for, right? While at the same time thumbing their nose up at us, not realizing that if it wasn't for us that was here first, that paved the way, they wouldn't even be in those positions. So now we have these issues where our people are down talking like this.
Two things. Number one, we have helped the migrants from coming over. Ask anybody in Chicago when they took the money from the COVID fund to give food, housing, clothing, shelter, and job training. Here's what Black people do not understand. We have backed every single movement. Black women back feminism. We gave it up for the gays. There's a gayborhood in every major city. There's still not a Brothertown or a Black Girl Magicville. We continue to get kicked in the teeth and say, oh, let's do it because we got to stand in solidarity. Where's the solidarity for foundational Black Americans? The last thing you want is delineation, but every time I turn around on somebody's Instagram, they got 15 flags and none of them are American. But they want to tell us how we lazy and we this, that, and the third. But it was our ancestors that got you immigration, the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment. Now it's our turn. Here's how illegal immigration affects Black Americans specifically. Right now, we're in a situation that we have not been in since 2021, which is there are more unemployed people than there are jobs to employ them. But if I've got a workforce that can be paid under the table, if I got a workforce that I can train for pennies on the dollar, and if I got a workforce that does not believe in a 40-hour work week, thank you, John D. Rockefeller, then I can bypass all you nappy-headed and go right to Juan. It works so good every day outside the Home Depot, don't it? Ask anybody in Chicago, ask anybody in Philadelphia, ask anybody in the People's Republic of California why we got so many homeless veterans, so many underemployed, unemployed Black people, so many homeless people, but y'all talking about y'all want Gavin Newsom to run for president? You got Maxine Waters, who did not come to Compton when people was getting shot up, but she sure enough took her behind on a private plane to come to stand in solidarity with the illegals. Are you kidding me? The majority of the slaves did not come here. There was a very small percentage, and then they bred us like cattle, had us sleeping like rabbits. The term mother came from what they made us do to us. We have no place to go home to. You can go back to Lagos. You can go back to Nigeria. You can go back to the Ivory Coast. You can go wherever you came from. And since you're so better, why ain't you there? But you do not have a right to sit up here and say that we can't fight for our rights or have the right to delineate. We have a culture. We have a culture so good that Akon came over here and cosplayed as one of us. They're mad at delineation. It's not divisive. We have been the most inclusive people on the face of the planet. Everybody eats off of us.
Now, a lot of these groups got a problem with us delineating and separating ourselves. But they come here and they fly their flags, right? The Trinidadians, the people from Ghana, Nigeria, and South Africa, they fly their flags and they already separate themselves. They come here to make money to send things back to their country. They don't come here to ingratiate themselves within our culture. They extract from our culture, they benefit from our culture, but then turn around and tell us that we don't have a culture. For years, we've opened up our arms and loved on everybody, while those same groups were saying, don't be like those lazy Americans. They had names for us. Now, when they came over as kids, we bust on them. Yeah, we did. But see, newsflash, we bust on everybody. If we called you names, the same names we called you, we called each other first. Why do you think we got the funniest comedians on the planet? Because we learned to joke about the things that we had to endure and go through. Right, so we made comedic value, comedic things off of that kind of stuff. Right, so the jokes wasn't exclusive to just you. The jokes was on all of us. We all joke. That's a part of our culture. That's why we have the Eddie Murphys and the Dave Chappelles and all the funny comedians. So get out of here with that. Well, you made fun of us. We made fun of everybody. That's part of FBA culture. Right? That's just a small part of our culture. But the majority of our culture is that you're here, you're able to be a doctor, you're able to be a dentist because we all did it first. But then you got Africans that come here and talk like this.
As far as I'm concerned, FBA's pretendians don't deserve reparations. Okay? They claim to be a $5 trillion community, right? But still live on food stamps. So what is reparations going to change? They still depend on the government for everything. Education, housing, feeding, and everything. Transportation, everything. So what's the point of reparations? You already live off the white man. You already live off the white man. So what's the point of reparations? Right? They gave you EBT. Right? That was not enough. They gave you PPP loans. Some of you have not even paid back those PPP loans. Right? No, if they give you reparations today, what are you going to do with it? Make the Chinese richer? Make the Koreans richer? Right? You probably gonna spend it on chicken and sneakers. That's wasted money.
Now, this dude goes by the name of Uncle Moose. First of all, his name is Uncle Moose. And he's like a TikToker, right? But this is the same dude that's talking all this trash about black Americans, but then he's running scams like this, right? Displaced and impoverished orphans. Hi, my name is Uncle Moose, a registered nurse and activist. I'm fundraising for the feeding, housing, and education of over 30 Southern Cameroonian and South Sudanese kids and orphans who lost their parents in the ongoing civil war in Cameroon and South Sudan. Clashes between the Cameroon military and separatist fighters have resulted in mass killings and kidnapping of innocent civilians, which has left thousands of kids and families displaced and in prison, with no means to afford access basic necessities like food, water, medical supplies, and education. Now, if you sit here and believe that this dude right here is going to send, he ain't from Sudan or Cameroon. If he going to send that money to the South Sudan, he ain't never even been to South Sudan. Right? They run so many darn scams. You send that money, he going to be tricking them with midget strippers, man, somewhere. W midget strippers, too. So, listen, you can't trust these dudes, man. They sit here and they talk about us, but Africa's not this unified place. They don't get along. From tribe to tribe don't even get along. They're not unified. Right? It is what it is. He's raising money because they having these ongoing civil wars in these countries because they don't get along. And they never have. Right? But you still have people that are FBA that don't understand what FBA is. And we so used to loving and taking care of each other that and caring for Africans and Jamaicans and other groups when they come over here, you still have FBA that talk like this.
Yeah, these FBA people is losing their minds. So apparently now I'm an immigrant. I'm not from America. My parents are immigrants. And I'm not black American. I'm trying to infiltrate the black community. Child, go tell that to my family who own land down in North Carolina near Lumberton. Go tell them that they immigrants and they not from here and they not black American. Because we own land. So, I'm just saying, y'all are crazy. You sitting here telling a black American that they're not black American because they don't agree with what you agree with. It's giving MAGA. It's giving cult. It's giving very low vibrational. Very. Even reading some of y'all comments, that's just like somebody commented, one of y'all people, a guy commented on my post and said, you just a random black girl. You could I'm clutching my pearls because is that a threat? Like, is that a threat?
Now, let me say this, because you got some hacks online, some weirdos and bots and people that act like they're black people, you know, and the thing that they put on it to identify themselves, but they're not black. right? They're not FBA. So you have people on here because you got FBAs from all different. You got sellouts. You got people that have a different opinion. You have me where I agree with everything Tariq Nasheed and my FBA brothers, their channels that they got at everything they say. I just don't get into the battle because I was doing that 8-9 years ago. I don't get into the battles of, the tether battle and non-tether battle. I'm just on FBA business, doing what I need to do in the community for the kids, trying to establish certain things in the municipality that I live in. Right? But I support all the things they do. I'm just not into the going back and forth with immigrants. I'm not doing all that. So for me, just me, the individual's a waste of time for me. Right? But you have people that come on that if you disagree with them, oh man, where your family from? You must be from here. And but a lot of those are weirdos. So the sister, she might have a different opinion because some people believe that they should still support the Africans. I don't. Right? But you have FBAs that still do. That don't make them our enemy. We just understand that a lot of our people are still confused. FBA is a new term, and us delineating and separating ourselves from and not loving and caring for every group is new to us. Because as FBAs, we used to loving and sharing our culture with everybody. Now we're saying no. A lot of FBA people are still not used to that yet. So they don't make them our enemy. Like, it's not going to change overnight. We just got to keep plowing the road and keep explaining what FBA is about and why we're doing what we're doing. Because a lot of our people in the grassroots and the communities that we come from, that share communities with, especially on the East Coast corridor, that share communities with a lot of people in the diaspora, we're used to living together. Now, while they're benefiting from us and talking about us, we used to just sharing everything with them. So it's like a new thing. But so what she's experiencing, I would just tell that sister, like, listen, man, the love that you got for them, they don't always have the same love back when even though they're benefiting from us. So it's just a struggle that goes back and forth. But the situation in California where they had the California Reparations panel that approved reparations for the FBAs there, this is what happened.
Yo, what's good, family? This just in. So California Reparations panel approves payments for up to $1.2 million for Black residents in the state of California. So what does this mean? So the state of California has a reparations committee, and they basically proposed a law where if you lived in California your whole life, or from 1970s until today, you're going to receive certain reparations for certain racial issues that were prevalent in the area. And the highest payment for a lifelong California resident could be $1.2 million. So where are we at today? So right now, this is just a proposed bill. They have until July 1st to submit the final bill, and then we'll see if the state of California accepts it. At that point, we'll see if them checks start getting issued. So let me know in the comments what you all think about this. Do you think it's going to get passed? What are your thoughts? This is crazy news, but let me know below.
So shout out to Tariq Nasheed and Yvette Carnell. Their movements was some of the part of the catalyst for the grassroots, the new grassroots, because we know that we had reparations on the bill since reparations bills on the floor since the 1800s with Thaddeus Stevenson, all the way up to Conyers and so many different groups, right? And they were always saying, well, we're going to study these bills, but nothing ever happened out of it, right? Nothing ever came out of it, right? So now we have these bills out there in California, and you're starting to see a little movement, right? But then you have Cornbread Mafioso. He said, yes, California is starting the delineation process as it begins to become federally recognized on the U.S. Census, right? So you have, when you go out there and you're looking for a job, or, they have Black or African American, and they have these boxes that you can check, and it says a descendant of a person or persons who were enslaved in the United States. That would be FBAs, right? Not a descendant of a person or persons who was enslaved in the United States, including, but not limited to African, Black, Caribbean, or other Black, right? So you would have to check that box now, because there would be a direct separation, because those separations are important for future benefits going forward. So now the data is being collected. There's a separation, and there are people that was here before. There are people that was here before you got here, and you're benefiting. See, this is the thing. The West Africans that come here and say, hey, we're outperforming you African Americans. And then I'll turn around and say, yes, you are, because you come here as a small group. You left your foreign land that was oppressing you where you couldn't perform, right? Right? That there was no benefits, and you went to a foreign place of people that looked like you, and you started to extract the benefits they fought for you to benefit from. Now here, we never got a chance to go anywhere. This is our home. We stay here fighting, and we've been fighting. So the place that's oppressing us, we didn't leave and then go to your place. So if you guys understand what I'm saying, you fled your homeland and came here and benefited, right? So then you come here and say, why you are and you benefit? Because we've been fighting and been having issues with government, federal laws not respecting the laws that's on the books, state laws oppressing us for years. The history speaks for itself. So you're only outpacing us right now because you've been benefiting as a model minority treated by the government from the things that my grandparents and ancestors fought for, but then turn around and thumb your nose. Well, these things, we're fighting to stop that. It's not that we don't love you. There is a difference. Over there, you guys separate. You don't see yourself as the same. If you are in Uganda and you fly to Ghana, you are looked at as a foreigner, right? You're not the same people. The Wolof don't see them as the same people as the Mande people or the Mandingo people. They don't. They don't. So, like, let's stop playing these games where all of a sudden you guys say that we don't have no culture, because when you guys can propagate that or say that we don't have a culture, that allows you to come in and extract all the things that we fought for, because we don't have a culture. That allows you to come in and just mix in as an African American. Well, guess what? You are African American. You are African living in America. We are now FBA Americans. We are foundational Black Americans. There's a distinction. There's a separation from me and you. We're not the same. We're not the same. And you know how I know that we're not the same? Because when you come here, you throw up your flag. There's no FBA flag. You don't honor no FBA flag. You don't care nothing about. You cared about African Americans because you can blend them with African Americans. Right? The Akons and all the Africans that come here and benefit from our culture, but then say we don't have a culture. The Jamaicans tried to do the same thing. Well, y'all don't have a culture. What are you talking about? We don't have a culture. You guys copied, and the elders said it, copied so much of what we was doing and then made it into your own. And I respect it. And we respect it. But how come you guys got to always talk down to us and say that we lazy, say that we this, say that we that, when you guys know that you benefiting from? You looked over the hill and saw that there were successful Black people in this place. You only came here because you saw that we were successful here. That's why you came. You didn't come here for no other reason. You looked over and saw us getting kicked in the head and in the behind and said, wait. Okay, the coast is clear. All right, let's go now. And that's what you did. And guess what? The crazy part is Dr. Claude Anderson warned us with this.
Actually, that's going to place Blacks in a permanent status of underclassship. And we anticipate by that point in time, based on all the research that's coming to us, that the next generation of whites are going to be more anti-Black than they've been since the Civil Rights Movement. 2, we anticipate by the same token about 86 million Hispanics coming into the United States and about 41 million Asians by that point in time, which is going to kick Black folk out of being the minority in the society down to a minority. We've been number 2 in the society for 400 years as a group. We're going to become number 4. And if we have not gotten anything after being number 2 for 400 years, you guess what's going to happen when we become number 4. Because at that point in time, all the new groups coming into America, they're coming in higher than we are, because this country operates off of a preferential acceptance program, which means that groups are coming in based on skin color, going from the lightest down to the darkest. Light, yellow, brown, Black. And that's what our immigration laws are based on. And Black folk would not be able to penetrate through those groups to get to the white society when that happens, because those groups owe us nothing. They don't understand our problems, and they are competitive with us, and we don't begin to be a little more aggressive about being in a competitive posture. They're going to eat our lunch.
Now, I'll just say, as FBAs, that don't mean we got to go around and hating all immigrants, because all immigrants ain't bad. You got some real thorough and loving immigrants that actually understand our story and our culture, and they do respect us, right? And they're not tethers, and I rock with them. But then the ones that come here and they side with the W man, they can't wait to go get a W man or a W woman, and they talk down against us while fleeing their country, but going to going to colleges and benefiting off of DEI programs and just all kinds of stuff, man. that was affirmative action before you had DEI, while at the same time thumbing their nose up at us and not understanding our culture and our story, man. Those are the people that we're talking about. But y'all gotta let me know what y'all think, man. If you made it this far in the video, hit that like button, subscribe to Street Media TV, leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. And remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.